New boss got the company in lots of trouble. I used to work for a big warehouse. Not as big as Amazon. For inventory management. From the first day I noticed that our workflow is super slow due to old software used for the office and warehouse. Since I wanted to impress my boss and my coworkers, I used some of my free time to write a new web-based software that you can even use on your phone. This was super convenient because it allowed my boss, the sales team and others to literally work while going around the warehouse or while working from home. Even the warehouse staff was impressed since I asked them what they need to see when picking orders. This software was now the heart of the company, and during my time I worked there, it was used a lot and replaced our old software. Now my old boss was about to retire, and together with the new boss, we all met in the warehouse, had cake and got to know the new boss, who I'll call Eric. He was super nice to everyone, but the next day he showed his true colors. He completely changed our workflow, requested useless stuff from the sales team, added shifts, morning, day, night, to our warehouse workers, and got rid of stuff we barely sell. Within weeks we were all exhausted. 3 people quit. Then Eric came into my office and gave me my 2 weeks notice. I was actually shocked. His response was, "We have 3 IT guys. We don't need that many." On my last day at work, Eric came into my office, looked around and said, "Please make sure to reset your PC and delete any personal data." Now there's one thing Eric doesn't know. The software always checks for a local file on my PC. So if the software can't find that file or the checksum is wrong, it'll display an error and shut down. I asked him again, "You want me to delete every personal file from this PC?" Quote. His reply was, "Yes." Within the next hour. Cue malicious compliance. I made sure to delete the whole source code of my software, deleted some personal stuff, cleaned my mail folder, and shortly before I was about to leave I pressed Del on file required for the software. As soon as I left the building I saw people standing outside, having a smoke. While I walked to my car, a warehouse worker told me that the whole warehouse is on pause due to some server issues. I made sure to leave as fast as possible. 1 hour later Eric blew off my phone, demanding the source code from my software. I happily told him that per contract, the software is my property. My old boss even wrote a contract, and that he won't get the source code. He demanded I come into the office and fix everything. "I'm sorry. I don't work for you anymore. You wanted me to delete all personal data. The key for the software is also my own file, so I had to delete that too." Quote. I heard from some of my friends there that Eric had to buy a license for the old software, and within 3 weeks, he was replaced by another boss. That's not the way I would have done it. As per contract, that software belongs to me. We can discuss licensing rights, but in the short term I can get you running again within an hour. My consulting fee for that service will be $1,000. Some managers have the common sense and emotional intelligence of a housefly. Why did you not bring this up when you were fired? You could have offered to sell a yearly license key or something like that. Okay, I'm making a mental note. Always put a local file check in written software. Once I got fired from a restaurant that I was a manager at, so I had a key to the restaurant. It was a franchise restaurant. I asked for a letter of recommendation when I was let go and they said no. So I left. They didn't ask for the key. Old boss calls me the next day asking me to bring the key back. I told him I don't know where it is, but I might be able to find it if he finds the letter of recommendation. He said no, and that I had to bring it back or else he's have to call corporate and get the whole building rekeyed, and that would look bad on him. He wrote the letter. I returned the key. and I had a better paying job at a nicer restaurant within a week. Would have said I started a new consulting business. It will be $20,000 per hour for a service call, and I charge 4-hour minimum. Ah, poor Eric. Smug bastard out to change the world and take credit for big dollar avings. Oops. The original story you stole this from had better details in it. You should have offered to fix it for a ridiculous consulting fee. I love this MC story, but I'd be wary of doing this. Companies can claim that any work you did on their hardware on their time is theirs by right and could sue you for that. It's why I'm not allowed to work on my own open source software using the company provided laptop and on company time. Glad the op got around it, but I'd imagine any competent lawyer could undo it. All he had to do was restore yesterday's backup and he would have been fine. Some people are too stupid to fix. Getting the company store hooked on your software is surprisingly not uncommon. I think that's more a reflection of management than worker bees. Op is just lazy and couldn't tolerate an inefficient system. Remember, the true measure of laziness is how much work someone is willing to go through to avoid work. Well done, Op. I salute you. One lazy person to another. Once I got fired from a restaurant that I was a manager at, so I had a key to the restaurant. It was a franchise restaurant. I asked for a letter of recommendation when I was let go and they said no. So I left. They didn't ask for the key. Old boss calls me the next day asking me to bring the key back. I told him I don't know where it is, but I might be able to find it if he finds the letter of recommendation. He said no and that I had to bring it back or else he's have to call corporate and get the whole building rekeyed and that would look bad on him. He wrote the letter. I returned the key, and I had a better paying job at a nicer restaurant within a week. My response would have been something along the lines of $50,000 up front, and $1,000 per hour that it takes for me to replicate the source code. Bro, you gotta be the dumbest smart person ever. My friend, since that was your software, you could have easily bargained for a DevOps position and made well over double what you were making before. When he called you afterwards, you could have charged them a fat contract fee and been set up for the rest of the year. Oof, this hurts. That was delicious. Good job, Op. Hands clapping. I happily told him that per contract. The software is my property. My old boss even wrote a contract. And that he won't get the source code. Your old boss screwed up. New boss was working to industry IP standards. You were probably in an actionable position. But the company let it go. Nice. I love stories like this. Awesome! Exclamation mark.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.